All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it now to the sixth way that we actually get paid in Organo Gold. If you've actually looked at the first 5 ways we get paid, you see that it's good. But as we say in Organo Gold, guess what? It even gets gooder. So I want to talk to you now about the 6 ways to generate commissions in Organo Gold's King of Compensation Plans is what we call the generational bonus. Generational bonuses are designed for leadership development. Remember, we talked about we want to make sure that we design compensation around things and items or activities or behaviors that we want you to perform in the field. We want you to make sure that you develop and work with your team and see them have as much success as they're willing to work for. And Organo Gold is actually going to reward you and compensate you for making sure that people develop. You know, one of the first levels of leadership that we consider in Organo Gold that's recognized is a level called Sapphire Consultant. When you become a Sapphire Consultant, it simply means that you've generated about $14,000 in what we call QV, qualified volume, throughout your entire team, not you alone. Now, you also have personally enrolled 2 qualified consultants on your right, 2 qualified consultants on your left team as well, and you've met what we call the 40% rule. The 40% rule simply means this, that no more than 40% of whatever that volume or level is required, whatever the volume is required to achieve that level, can come from one leg of business. For example, Sapphire, if you look at 14,000, it means that no more than 5,600 volume can come from one leg in order to help you qualify at that level. What this does, it disallows you from just having one person that you've enrolled who did all the work and you receive 100% of the benefits from it. But what it does as well is it allows you to go out there and develop and help more people, and the more people you help and develop, guess what, the more that you can actually dig into the Organo Gold compensation plan. How does a generational bonus work? I want to share something with you. This is a little secret. In my opinion, this is the little silver bullet. It's the hidden secret to Organo Gold's compensation plan. This, in my opinion, is the biggest of them all when you start to develop other leaders. This one here, it's unlimited what type of incomes that can actually be achieved just through the generational bonus. How does it work? Let's look at it real quick. It's also going to be based off of your PET, your personal enrollment tree. We talked about that. That's going to be the people that you've personally enrolled. There's no limit to the number of people that you can personally enroll. We're going to talk to you about the 2020 plan. We suggest that you go 40 wide, 20 on your left, 20 on your right, which will give you 40 direct personally enrolled distributors. That's the recommendation. There's no minimum. There's no maximum. You don't have to do that. You're in business for yourself, but not necessarily by yourself. So let's talk about how the generational bonus works. What happens is this. When you become a Sapphire Consultant or above, what Organo Gold's software system is designed to do is to look at what your current rank is. When you become a Sapphire, that means that you will qualify for your first generation. Your first generation. Now remember, generations are completely different than levels. When we look at generations, your first generation of Sapphire can actually be 5 levels deep, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be the first personally sponsored person that you've enrolled. But in this example here, let's just say that you were a diamond, okay? Now at the diamond level, let's go back. Sapphire, you get your first generation. Ruby, you get your second generation of generational bonus. When you become emerald, you get your third. And when you become diamond, you get the 4th generation in commissions. Now, the first generation will pay 2%, the second generation will pay 3%, the third will pay 4%, and the 4th generation, it pays 5% of the volume. Let's talk about where that volume comes from and give you an illustration of how it actually works, because I want you to focus on not only helping going Sapphire, but helping as many people as you can go Sapphire. Now, let's just say that you're a diamond here, the #1 lifestyle in the world, by the way, and let's just say that this distributor right here is a Ruby consultant. That person, it means that that person is at least a Sapphire or above, and it qualifies you here for a generational bonus. How does it work? What Organo Gold's computer is going to do is going to take all of the reorder volume. Remember, the last 4 incomes is all based off of reorders. That means that every sachet of coffee that is reordered, and if somebody's drinking that 1 sachet, there are 4 commissions that are released on that 1 cup of coffee. That's powerful. Now, the generational is released this way. This person here in this example is a Ruby consultant. The company is going to look at all of their total volume outside of any Sapphire above legs, and all of the reorder volume is going to be subject to a generational bonus at the tune of 2% to you. Okay, so whatever that is, it doesn't matter how much volume, as long as that volume is not including another Sapphire or Sapphire above, you get a generational bonus on it. But because you're a diamond, you tap into your second generation. In this example, it happens to be your second level. And so what happens is now the company's going to say, okay, we're going to take this person's volume, all of their entire volume in this example outside of this Ruby. That means it's this entire organization over here of reorders, and it's going to pay you 3% on all of this person's business volume or commissionable volume that they have outside of that Ruby. Now, the third generation, where does that come in? The third generation is this Ruby right here. So the company's computer is going to go down, it's going to say, okay, well, what we're going to do is this. We're going to take the volume outside of this Sapphire. That means that this whole organization, no matter how big it is and how big it grows, we're going to pay you 4% on the total reorder volume with no caps on that whatsoever. And then, ladies and gentlemen, because you are a diamond, this also becomes your fourth generation. Okay. Now, remember, it can be as deep as 4 levels deep, or it can be as deep as 40 levels. Whenever the next generation appears, and it has to be based off of a Sapphire, that's why it's so powerful. But when you get to that fourth generation, you're going to be rewarded at 5% on that generation of all of the reorder volume in that entire organization. And when you start looking at it, ladies and gentlemen, all across your organization, remember, this is your first generation here, but this is also a first generation. When this person down here goes Sapphire, guess what? This starts a first generation as well. And so this is why I believe that this is probably the biggest commission structure that we have in all of Organo Gold. It's unlimited. It's pretty huge. And you know what, it's fun because you're helping other people develop as leaders. So remember, the sixth way we actually get paid is what we call generational bonuses. It's easy, it's simple, it's coffee.